everybody, welcome back. So we're going to be moving these two very soon. A couple reasons why. You can see the pasture. Here's where I fed them last night, but you can see how muddy it is up here. We just paid last year for this pasture to be sprayed free of weeds, and you can see just how deep the mud is getting. So for a few reasons, we're going to be moving them to a smaller pasture. Number one is obviously the mud. It's a pretty decent sized pasture, so if we can get them out before it gets too mucky, then we'll get more grass growth. Number two is the fence. It looks okay from a distance. We'll get to that in a second. Number three is we're going to be burning this really soon. Hopefully we have to call the county and make sure we can burn. Hi Avalon. But the fence, it looks fine. It's not. So you can see wires dripping. The snowplows actually, if you see the fence is uneven, the snowplows pushed the snow up against it. Some of them went inward, some of them went outward, which we didn't think was a big deal. But half the wires are off the T-posts, and trying to have an electric wire plugged in when it's still cold out is not ideal, because the plug-in goes into my room and I have two older dogs, so even that slightest little breeze with the heater on, they're cold. These two probably aren't going to be happy about it, but hi. These two probably aren't going to be very happy about it, but they'll be in the other pasture for a month or two until everything dries. Hello, Kamani. And when we come back to this pasture, the fence will be different. So we have a guy coming out. We just don't know when he can come out yet. This fence will come in here to this over here, and then around over here on the other side of this well, and then back down the side of the well, because the well is not ours. It actually belongs to that property over there. So that'll be a little weird having the fence go straight and then come in around, down, and then straight again, but what are you gonna do? And you can already tell the mares have messed with the fence, because this was like this last night. But if you guys can see the wood, so these two have free food 24/7, and they're chewing on the wood, and we don't want them cribbing. They have like 5 types of salt blocks and always have a hay bale out. The reason you don't see a hay bale out right now is, if you guys see, there's a hay pile there, and then up there I showed you guys earlier, there's a bunch of hay. So when they clean all that up, they'll get fed again. They're gonna play. I never get to catch them playing. So this is gonna be where the girls are gonna go. So these hinges right here are where the gate is gonna go across. This will be shut. I gotta clean up all this. This is from the rabbits eating the ponies' hay. That's gonna be fun to clean. And then they'll have literally from here all the way back, probably 15 feet, 10 feet of shelter. On sunny days like today, both these doors will be open, which I'll show you in a second. If there's really windy, I'll probably shut this door, because it's bigger, so they have like a windbreak if they want it. I'm probably going to close off this stall just because Kamani is head horse, and I really don't want them, although it's a big enough space where they could both hang out in here, I really don't want one of them getting in the corner and getting into a kicking match. And that, for anybody wondering, is we dumped out a bucket of ice and it had a dead rat in it. I know there's some garbage here I gotta clean up. That's just from when we were moving hay. The good thing is the horse's hay is right in here, so I can literally open this door and check it out where I need to. So this door will be closed, more than likely, just so there's no getting trapped in there. Let's go outside. So when you step outside here, the pasture goes right here and goes this way. This is only here because I used to train Rose and Skyla, if you guys have seen my videos, and we would put another panel across here when they were super feral. We would shut the doors there and just have a smaller catch pen to catch them in. We've tried taking it off, and the wood is pretty much hanging on to the screws. Even my dad can't get it off, so that's just gonna stay. Not a big deal. They have plenty of room to go around it. And then this pasture goes down to this fence line. I have two places I can put my water trough. I can put it right here, and then right there at the end of that snowbank, hard to see, there is a faucet that I can hook my hose up to, or I can put it in the barn where the gate's gonna go. But I plan on feeding them mostly inside in the barn to get them out of the mud, and then putting their water trough where I just showed you out here, so that they actually have to travel for their food and water. So the girls are now moved out here. I just had my dad help me move them, so I couldn't film. Where they're at is where their water trough is. All I have left to do is get a chain for their gate in the barn. I'll show you guys that in a second. Kamani's being super playful today. When I went to catch her, she was rearing up and biting on Avalon. So good, they already know the fence line. Not a very big pasture, but I'd rather push them around, make sure they know where their food and water is and where the fence line is, than just throw them out here and let them figure it out on their own. You can see. I got that on camera. You can see the gate's up. I just need a chain for it. I forgot the chain back at the house. Good. Now this is Avalon's second time in the barn. First time in this part. Kamani's been in this part. They just found the dead rat. Oh gosh. You girls are funny. Woo! That was close. We kind of figured they were going to run around and tear up this pasture. We don't really care too much because there is lots of weeds still in here that need to be tore up. So it's not that big of a deal. There's that dead rat in that ice right there. They don't like that. But that's frozen to the ground, so there's not much I can do. Plenty of door space for them to come in and out. And they got room to run. You know, they're not in a tiny, tiny, tiny pen. You're so pretty. Yeah. Anyway, so chain is here. Here's chain on here. It's pretty tight. Now this gate actually used to go up against this. For some reason it doesn't anymore. It's the same exact gate. Nothing's been changed on it. I don't know. So let's go in and check on the girls. So as you can see, they already tore up the ground quite a bit. So this is why I moved them now. Grass, as you can see, little bits. Grass is starting to come up. So they're going to buck play, be fresh, tear up the ground. The ground in the other pasture is already torn up, so we don't want it tore up more. Hi, Av. What's happening? Hi. And if this little tiny pasture gets where there's no grass, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that much of a loss compared to the other pasture. Hi. Look at your dirty nose. Look at your dirty nose. What are you snorting at? So you guys can see their water trough down there. It's full. And they'll be fed in the barn where the mouse is. But they'll be obviously fed away from it. And I can feed them out here if I want to too over here. I just want them to travel a little bit more. I feel like in the other pasture I really, because of the snow, I fed them inside. And I also had their water inside. So they didn't have to move around a lot. I want them to move around so they're not pooping in one constant area where their food is. Obviously, they're probably still going to do that. Come on, no. No. They're going to be able to get a little bit of alfalfa through the cracks. Nothing I can really do about that. They can get a little bit, but not enough to hurt them. But I don't want them really pooping, if I can help it, in this inside right here where they're going to eat. That was a problem when I fed them with their food and water in the other shelter in the bigger pasture, because they didn't have to go anywhere, so they were constantly pooping in there, and it's really mucky and muddy in there now. Drinking their water. Watch this. I'm going to scare Kamani. Everyone's like, what the heck? Pretty girl. Woo!
Woo!
You're so funny. Oh my goodness, I love these two. Pretty Avalon, look at you! Woo! Okay, go, go!